Welcome to the session 6, Deal Making. This is also called Selling Skills. Last week we went through the session 5 where we covered sales as a process. The objective of this program is to help you create effective and efficient sales systems and teams that win. This is being brought to you by METL Global Perspectives, www.metl.in. 7 steps of the sale. On carrying out the steps properly, a deal is signed and the prospect becomes the client of the company. In the stage 4 of the sales process, the session 5, we had listed the steps. These are provided here for your ready recall. Step 1, initial interaction with the prospect. Elevator pitch is a very important part of it. We had covered this in that session too. Step 2, making the sales call. Step 3, need discovery. Step 4, responding to queries. Step 5, eliminating doubts. Step 6, proposing the solution. And step 7, negotiating to arrive at the right solution that would work for the prospect. In today's session, we will discuss these steps a bit more in depth. I must state that we are considering a particular sales environment and talking of this. Different sales environment requires these steps to be detailed in a different way. It's important for you to understand the construct, the concept, and be able to mold it to the sales environment in which you are being able to work. Step 1, initial interaction with the prospect. In this step, the salesperson approaches the prospect and starts with a general benefit statement or an elevator pitch. This should be relevant enough to the situation that is unfolding and the individual with whom the discussion is taking place. Normally, a courtesy followed by an introduction and the purpose of the meeting are stated. This can be, "Thank you for meeting me. I am Theta and I represent the Voltage Analytics and Data Processing Company. We work with your client's data to gather actionable insights and implement them. Our work has generated savings up to the tune of 20% and increased productivity by over 15% by eliminating non-value added activities or replacing them with automated tools. I would like to explore the possibility of deploying our services for departments in your organizations and the corporate functions. Based on your offering and whom you are selling it to, you need to take the pitch for the initial interaction with the prospect. If it's a CFO, you must add a bit of finance to it. If it is a managerial person who is looking at operations, you must add elements like bottlenecking, debottlenecking, increasing productivity, reducing waste. If it is a CEO, you need to talk also of how the company can go into the future and the roadmap that you can provide for that. So it's very important to be able to talk in the right context and set the right pitch based on the person whom you are interacting with. Step 2, making the sales call, discovery process. After the initial interaction, if all went well, the prospect gives a chance to continue the dialogue. The initial interaction could have been over an email or a call too. After establishing baseline credibility, the salesperson can ask questions to develop deeper understanding. This can be, in several companies that we have been to, the host of data is at times analyzed well but not worked upon to improve systems, processes, and people productivity. Do you face a similar situation? What is the insight that you are generating with the data you gather which helps you in business processes? Or is your ESAT and CSAT score connected to improving your internal work processes? Such a sales call focuses on gathering facts and discovery. All these are supposed to make the prospect interested in going ahead with the conversation rather than a Q&A kind of a session. The discovery process does 3 things. First, it showcases the depth of expertise that the company you represent has. Secondly, how can all of that be leveraged to help the prospect? in a manner that they gain. Thirdly, and the most important one, is that it builds trust in the salesperson, and that in turn helps the sale progress to the next stage. Step 3, need discovery. The prospect then decides to engage and starts sharing what they are expecting. While the salesperson listens to the prospect's requirement, they must not venture into offering a product or a solution. The effort by the salesperson here is to clearly understand why does the prospect want to do business with them and why now. Through sales interactions with various people, other than the appointed point of contact, this can be figured out. The better this is done, easier the sales interaction proceeds to the next stage. At times, prospects state various criteria like price point, delivery capability, executive choice, across geography presence, but these are not the real issues that the salesperson should worry about. They should try to lead the prospect by demonstrating expertise to configure and deliver solutions and the ability to do beyond what the prospect is asking for at price points better than expectations. When it comes to price, if you have a higher price, focus on the long term benefits. If your cost is low, focus on the immediate benefits. So price is never a consideration. It is how you showcase the price that is important. It's important for the person to be able to feel that this is the right price and that's the right value that the individual is getting at that price. A poor discovery process leads to a botched up sales interaction, and even if the order comes for some other reasons, the delivery is going to be a very long run, tedious, and a problematic one. Step 4, responding to all queries. Do not be in a hurry to submit a proposal. If need be, put together a budgetary proposal with a wide range of options, configurations, prices, and solutions. Focus on understanding the requirements and responding to them. The more the salesperson understands the requirements, better they should be in a position to comprehend what is really required by the prospect. This requires the salesperson to have deep understanding of the technicalities of the products, the features, advantage, and benefits, creating various configurations of it for application across multiple scenarios at client locations, and a roadmap of what more can be done in the future. Several salespersons make the mistake of putting together proposals and pursuing them, reducing prices, and get into a self imposed action trap. This is not important at this stage. The day you are able to answer these three questions, why do something, why now, and why my company should be preferred for this, you will be able to know exactly what the prospect is requiring. Very often, the prospects will say that everything is fine and they're just evaluating another vendor. But if they are spending time evaluating another vendor, there has to be a reason for that. It can be because the corporate policy says that there have to be two vendors. It can be because the existing vendor is suddenly not uh, being that reliable when it comes to delivery and quality. It can be that the negotiation with the existing vendor for the next year terms is not going well. So it's very important for you to know the things as a salesperson, then only you can make a pitch, because you should not be the second fiddle. You should not allow yourself to become the second fiddle and the price comparison proposal provider. Step 5, eliminating doubts. Every prospect has doubts. Some might state it, some might not state it upfront, but every prospect has doubts. This might be induced by a competitor or due to certain misunderstandings that might have cropped up in the sales process, or due to an unfulfilled expectation. A salesperson must patiently listen to the customer and understand the doubt. Think and discuss with the customer the reason for it to crop up at the first place and suitably address it to the satisfaction of the customer. This is also the place to add a few more benefits and talk about the competitive superiority of your offering. A doubt has two parts to it, the factual bit and the emotional bit. It is important, therefore, to address the emotional and the factual aspect of the query. If not addressed properly, a prospect might feel that the salesperson did not disclose all information and lose trust. For example, in a long term contract, a software provider might say that they will be changing project managers and the project team that is working on this assignment depending on the requirement of other projects, but they will replace and bring forth people to work in that particular assignment who are of equal competence. However, over time, the customer develops comfort with a particular project team. Now, when the company says that this is the rule that we have to adopt to, and you have signed this particular agreement with us, and we are going to implement it now, it might give rise to a lot of discontentment. So, it's important that at this stage or early on, the customer is made clear or the prospect is made clear that such a change might happen and the processes that are in place to ensure that there is no dilution of understanding. And if there is a slight bit of dilution of understanding, the whole team is not being changed at a go. Only a few people, or maybe 10% of the team, will be changed at a go, not more than that, with the agreement of the customer. Yeah, so these are things which are very important to clarify in the beginning, else they will give rise to unnecessary issues and a lot of them over time. Step 6, proposing the solution. Once all of this has been discussed, a salesperson puts together a proposal that is tailored to the needs of the customer and submits the same. The proposal has to bring in all aspects that differentiate the solution from that of the competitors and respond to the needs expressed by the prospect. It is important to write this document afresh as it will go to various departments and will be approved before the order is placed. As several people will be reading this document, it's important to write this document giving the background of the client, giving your understanding of the scenario, giving the product and solutions that are required, giving the needs that you have understood, and therefore the solution you propose and how that solution is going to help the customer and the roadmap for the future. This should not be a copy or paste from other proposals, though the appendixes can be the same. Some commercial terms, some standard commercial terms is there in the appendix, some standard agreement terms can be there, they can be the same, but the proposal should be uniquely written for each and every client. I have seen several clients, several salespeople replicate a proposal for another client to the extent that the name of some of the other clients are also, other prospects are also going to a new one. This is absolutely a no-no, is a very shoddy job if that happens. So make it a point to write the proposal from scratch, always for the customer. If it's a big proposal, you must have an executive summary on top of it. It is absolutely imperative to have that 2 pages executive summary or 1 page on top of the whole proposal. Negotiating to arrive at the right solution. After the proposal is submitted and it meets the requirements of the clients, then only the salesperson should get into the negotiation. Once again, negotiation is never about the price, it is about the overall solution. A skilled salesperson never discusses price and does everything possible to swing from the price to a price value proposition. A skilled negotiator from the prospect side tries to browbeat on the various elements that make up the price, and likewise. They might make statements like, what is the price you have quoted to others? Show us those prices. Give us some reference of other buyers. We want to check whether the proposal that we have got is unique or not. Is the price competitive or not? I don't want to pay more than certain number. My budget is lesser than 30% of what you have quoted. They'll come up with all these things. These are very standard negotiation tactics and practices. What's very important is that to keep the spirit of the negotiation positive in the whole process and never let the communication break down. Once this is done, a revised proposal is submitted and the order comes in place. And with this, your prospect becomes a client. And this is what sales is all about. How many of these can you convert to clients? How fast can you convert them to clients? How do you understand their requirements? How quickly do you grab the market? This is what sales is all about. However, you will have to go through these steps of the sale. It happens like this. Now, there are times when you straight away get into the negotiation because the rest of all of it is proven, because it's a word of mouth sale. Some ex client has referred you, so you straight away get into the negotiate table, you give the solution, and you have the deal. It can be fast. But a skilled salesperson is prepared for all the stages, so that at any point of time, whatever be the document that you require to justify your pitch at that particular stage, you should be carrying them with you always. Prospect to client, sales funnel, or pipeline. Very often, these are some of the words used in the sales process of how do you convert a suspect or a prospect and a prospect to a client. So, a suspect is the universal pool of possible candidates who might take your solution. Obviously, all of them do not take it. It's like the demand side of it. All the people who are in the demand side are your suspect pool, but all of them will never be able to contact you or get in touch with you or be able to focus your energies on. The ones that you are focusing your energies on are the prospect. So these prospects, therefore, can have the potential to get converted to a client if you are successfully walking them through all the 7 stages of the sale. However, every prospect who you meet and interact with will not be able to convert to a sale. In that case, there's a continuous slippage which keeps on happening, and that's why we keep calling it a funnel, because it keeps on narrowing down on the diameter over as you proceed to the sales call. So, as a good salesperson, you should have a number in your mind that if based on your experience, or your manager will guide you on that, that if I start with 100 prospects, I might be able to close 12 clients. Or if I start with, if I need 17 clients to be able to make my deal, I need to have 134 prospects in my pipeline and at various stages of the sales call. So, are they in initiate interaction stage? Are they in the making the call stage? Are they in the needs discovery stage? A healthy sales funnel is one where there are adequate number of people at every stage. So, therefore, the salesperson is also busy meeting people, closing deals, pursuing the prospects, pursuing the suspects, making cold calls. All these are constantly happening. So, whatever be the stage of your sales call, evaluate if the sales call is proceeding through the funnel or is getting stuck. If you are proceeding, it is called a continuation, which is good. I'm sorry. If it is proceeding, it's called an advance. It is good. If it is stuck at a particular stage, it is called a continuation. So if you are at the continuation stage, which is perhaps the needs discovery stage for a very long time, and you are not being able to proceed in it, seek help of your manager or try to do something, because you might be constantly meeting the prospect again and again, but you're stuck at the needs discovery stage or responding to query stage. So be very clear on the various ways in which you can make the sales progress. Understand the urgency from the client side. Understand why has the sudden delay happened. Is it a budget issue? Is it the client has some other requirement in mind? Is it's not critical enough? It might be for a salesperson, every proposal is crucial. But for a client, that particular proposal is perhaps one of the proposals that they have to process in any case. Therefore, a good salesperson has got multiple people in a client organization or a prospects organization whom they can touch base with and try and understand what is happening to their proposal. Keep that going. Never get stuck to one person. Always have multiple client touch points or prospect touch points. Create them, cultivate them, and try and do your best to keep your sales funnel as healthy as you can, with every stage being filled and multiple clients being pursued at any point of time, or multiple prospects being pursued. Understand, once you have a client, there might be upselling, cross-selling, and repeat business opportunities, or word of mouth sales which you can generate from that client. So every other client should be touched base with, so that you can explore these particular opportunities. Mastering the steps. Mastery of these 7 steps takes time. A good salesperson reviews every interaction to improve continuously and become competent at this. They observe good deal makers and learn from coaches. They ensure that the sales funnel is always full with well qualified prospects, and there is a pipeline with deals at every stage. Even when the funnel is not in a perfect shape, they do not come under pressure. Instead, they work out ways to get the funnel right. They always try to increase the deal size and profitability of the deal. Evolve your sales with me a bit every week. Think through and answer: what is your sales funnel? How healthy is the deal making pipeline? At what step are the various deals? Which is the weakest step? The step where you are getting stuck, the where there is continuation happening again and again and again. How do you strengthen it? In case of queries, message me at sogata@metl.in. Next week, we will have our session 7 where we will talk of distribution as a strategy. Till then, enjoy your sales, design your sales process, make your sales pitch right, and have a very good year end.